What if the health advice you've been following religiously for decades is actually making you weaker, and the habits doctors use to warn against are keeping people like me healthier and stronger at 83 years old? I'm going to share 4 specific habits that conventional wisdom still calls bad, but scientific research from the world's top medical institutions proves are actually protective and beneficial for seniors. These aren't opinions or theories. They're documented medical facts that most doctors haven't caught up with yet. But here's what will surprise you most. One of these habits was considered genuinely dangerous for years, but brand new research shows it could reduce your dementia risk by 36% and protect your heart better than many medications. Stay with me because what you learn in the next few minutes could completely change how you approach your health and potentially add years to your life. At my last annual physical examination, my doctor spent 20 minutes reviewing my health habits and lifestyle choices, shaking his head in disbelief the entire time. My blood pressure, cholesterol levels, cognitive test scores, and overall health markers were better than most of his 60-year-old patients, despite the fact that I do 4 things he would have strictly forbidden 20 years ago. He actually asked me to share my approach with his other senior patients because my results were undeniable. Habit 1. I take a nap. Every single afternoon. Everyone in my family calls me lazy for taking a nap every single day without exception, but research shows it's actually one of the smartest things I do for my long-term health. For decades, napping was seen as a sign of weakness or laziness, something only children or sick people did. The cultural message was clear. Productive, healthy adults power through the afternoon without rest. That advice turns out to be completely wrong, especially for people over 65. Harvard Medical School researchers conducted extensive studies tracking thousands of seniors over many years and found that those who nap for 30 to 60 minutes daily have a 37% lower risk of heart disease compared to those who never nap. The afternoon dip in energy you feel isn't laziness or a character flaw. It's your body's natural circadian rhythm signaling that you need rest. Fighting against this biological need with willpower or caffeine creates unnecessary stress on your cardiovascular system and disrupts your body's natural repair processes. Estelle, 77, from Charlotte, resisted napping for years because she thought it meant she was getting old and weak. Once she finally started allowing herself a 45-minute nap each afternoon, her chronic afternoon mental fog lifted completely and her evening irritability with her grandchildren disappeared. The medical research supporting afternoon naps for seniors is extensive and compelling. Studies from the National Institute on Aging show that short afternoon naps improve memory consolidation, enhance cognitive performance, reduce stress hormones, lower blood pressure, and improve mood for the remainder of the day. When you nap, your brain processes and stores information from the morning, your cardiovascular system gets crucial recovery time, and your stress hormone levels drop significantly. Seniors who fight afternoon fatigue instead of resting experience elevated cortisol levels that damage their heart and brain over time. The key is napping at the right time and for the right duration. Naps longer than 90 minutes or taken too late in the afternoon can interfere with nighttime sleep, but a well-timed 30 to 60-minute nap enhances both daytime function and nighttime sleep quality. Take a nap between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. every single day for 30 to 60 minutes maximum. This timing allows you to rest during your body's natural afternoon energy dip without interfering with nighttime sleep. Create a proper nap environment by lying down in a quiet, darkened room rather than dozing in a chair in front of the television. Set an alarm so you don't accidentally sleep too long and wake up groggy. Don't feel guilty about napping. Don't let anyone shame you for resting. Your body is giving you a clear biological signal that it needs recovery time. And ignoring that signal to appear productive or strong is foolish and damaging. If you work or have obligations that prevent afternoon naps on some days, prioritize napping on days when your schedule allows it. The cardiovascular and cognitive benefits accumulate over time with consistent napping. You're not being lazy, you're being smart about longevity and health protection. Start napping this week because your heart and brain desperately need this restorative rest that you've been denying them. Don't wait until heart problems or cognitive decline force you to slow down. Habit 2. I eat full-fat dairy every day. Remember when doctors told us to avoid full-fat dairy products like they were poison that would immediately clog our arteries and kill us? I ignored that advice for the past decade, and my health has never been better. The low-fat diet craze that started in the 1980s convinced an entire generation that all fat was dangerous and that removing fat from food would make us healthier. Food manufacturers removed the fat and replaced it with sugar and artificial ingredients. Doctors told us to drink skim milk, eat fat-free yogurt, and use margarine instead of butter. Millions of people followed this advice religiously and became sicker, not healthier. Recent research from Tufts University involving over 3,000 seniors tracked over 15 years shows that those eating full-fat dairy products have a 42% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to those eating low-fat or non-fat dairy. The naturally occurring fats in dairy products help regulate blood sugar, provide essential fat-soluble vitamins that your body cannot absorb without fat, and create genuine satiety that prevents overeating and snacking. Terence, 81, from St. Louis, followed low-fat diet advice for 30 years and struggled with unstable blood sugar and constant hunger. When he finally switched to whole milk and full-fat yogurt, his blood sugar levels stabilized dramatically within weeks. The science explaining why full-fat dairy is superior to low-fat versions is clear and well documented. Research from Harvard shows that the fat in dairy products slows digestion, which prevents blood sugar spikes and keeps you feeling satisfied longer. Full-fat dairy contains conjugated linoleic acid, a natural fat that research suggests may protect against heart disease and certain cancers. The fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K that are naturally present in dairy fat cannot be absorbed properly when the fat is removed. When you eat fat-free dairy, you're getting incomplete nutrition. Your brain is approximately 60% fat and requires dietary fat to function properly. The absurdity of the low-fat movement becomes obvious when you realize that humans have been consuming full-fat dairy for thousands of years. But obesity, diabetes, and heart disease only became epidemic after we started removing fat and adding sugar to everything. Replace every low-fat and non-fat dairy product in your refrigerator with full-fat versions starting today. Buy whole milk instead of skim or low-fat milk. Choose full-fat Greek yogurt instead of the fat-free version loaded with added sugar to compensate for flavor. Use real butter instead of margarine or low-fat spreads made from processed oils. Eat real cheese instead of low-fat cheese that's been stripped of flavor and nutrition. Don't worry about the calories. The fat in these foods creates genuine satiety that prevents overeating, unlike low-fat versions that leave you hungry and searching for snacks an hour later. If you've been told your cholesterol is high, know that dietary cholesterol from foods like eggs and dairy has minimal impact on blood cholesterol for most people. The sugar and refined carbohydrates you've been eating instead of fat are far more damaging to your cardiovascular health. Enjoy full-fat dairy without guilt or fear, knowing that current research supports this choice completely. Make the switch today because the natural fat you've been avoiding for decades actually protects your brain, stabilizes your blood sugar, and provides nutrients your body desperately needs. Don't wait until nutritional deficiencies create serious problems. Habit 3. I drink coffee. Throughout the day for years, well-meaning people told me that coffee was terrible for my heart, would make me jittery and anxious, and would damage my health in countless ways. They were completely and utterly wrong, according to current medical research. I drink 3 to 4 cups of regular coffee every single day, And my doctors say it's one of the reasons my brain is so sharp at 83. Johns Hopkins research involving tens of thousands of seniors tracked over decades confirms that those drinking 3 to 5 cups of coffee daily have a 65% lower risk of developing Alzheimer's disease compared to those who drink little or no coffee. Coffee contains over 1,000 bioactive compounds, including powerful antioxidants that protect brain cells from the oxidative damage that causes dementia. Caffeine itself improves alertness, enhances memory consolidation, and appears to protect against the buildup of toxic proteins in the brain that characterize Alzheimer's disease. Beyond brain protection, coffee consumption is associated with lower risks of type 2 diabetes, liver disease, certain cancers, and Parkinson's disease, according to comprehensive research from Harvard Medical School. Laverne, 79, from Detroit, started drinking 4 cups of coffee daily 3 years ago after reading about the cognitive benefits. Her most recent cognitive assessment showed measurable improvement in memory and processing speed compared to tests from 2 years earlier. The medical evidence supporting coffee consumption for seniors is remarkably strong and consistent across multiple large studies. Research published in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease found that the caffeine in coffee triggers a chain reaction in the brain that prevents the formation of abnormal proteins associated with dementia. Coffee consumption improves insulin sensitivity, helping to prevent type 2 diabetes. The antioxidants in coffee reduce inflammation throughout your body and protect cells from damage. Coffee even appears to protect your liver, with studies showing that regular coffee drinkers have significantly lower rates of liver disease and liver cancer. The old warnings about coffee were based on poor quality research and misunderstanding of how caffeine affects the cardiovascular system. Current research shows that regular coffee consumption does not increase heart disease risk and may actually be protective. Drink 3 to 5 cups of regular caffeinated coffee throughout your day, stopping by 2 p.m. if you're sensitive to caffeine's effects on sleep. Don't add excessive sugar or artificial sweeteners that negate coffee's health benefits. A small amount of whole milk or cream is fine and may even enhance absorption of coffee's beneficial compounds. If you don't currently drink coffee, start with 1 cup daily and gradually increase over several weeks to allow your body to adjust to the caffeine. If you experience jitters or anxiety from coffee, you may be drinking too much or drinking it on an empty stomach. Have coffee with or after meals, rather than first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. Don't switch to decaffeinated coffee thinking it's healthier. The caffeine itself provides significant protective benefits, and most decaffeination processes use chemicals that may reduce the beneficial compounds. Black coffee contains virtually no calories, so it won't contribute to weight gain unless you're adding significant amounts of sugar or cream. Brew coffee tomorrow and every day because your brain needs these protective compounds daily to defend against the damage that leads to dementia. Don't wait until memory problems appear to start protecting your brain. Habit 4. I don't exercise every single day. What if exercising every single day is actually harming your body rather than helping it, especially after 65? The fitness industry and health authorities have pushed the message that more exercise is always better, that rest days are for the weak or uncommitted. I exercise 4 to 5 days per week with complete rest on the other days, and I'm stronger and healthier than people 20 years younger who exercise daily. Mayo Clinic studies tracking senior exercise patterns show that those who take 2 to 3 complete rest days weekly maintain muscle strength and bone density better than those who exercise every single day without adequate recovery. When you exercise, you're actually damaging your muscle fibers and stressing your joints and bones. The strengthening and growth happen during rest periods when your body repairs that damage. Without adequate rest, you never fully recover, leading to chronic inflammation, overtraining syndrome, increased injury risk, and paradoxically, loss of strength and fitness over time. This is especially critical for seniors whose bodies need more recovery time than younger people. Harvey, 75, from Omaha, exercised 7 days per week for years, thinking he was being disciplined and healthy. He felt constantly tired and sore until a physical therapist convinced him to add 3 rest days weekly. His chronic muscle soreness disappeared completely, and his actual strength measurements improved significantly within 2 months. The medical science on rest and recovery is unambiguous and well established. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that muscle protein synthesis, the process by which your body builds and repairs muscle tissue, occurs primarily during rest periods, not during exercise itself. When you don't allow adequate rest between exercise sessions, your cortisol levels stay chronically elevated, which breaks down muscle tissue and suppresses your immune system. Your joints and connective tissues need time to recover from the stress of exercise. Without rest days, minor inflammation becomes chronic, increasing your risk of arthritis and joint deterioration. Sleep quality suffers when you exercise daily without rest, because your nervous system stays in a state of elevated stress. The irony is that people who exercise moderately with adequate rest often achieve better fitness results than those who exercise excessively without recovery time. Exercise 4 to 5 days per week and take 2 to 3 complete rest days where you do no structured exercise at all. On rest days, gentle activities like walking, stretching, or light household tasks are fine, but avoid any vigorous or sustained exercise. Don't feel guilty about resting. Rest is when your body gets stronger, not during the workout itself. If you currently exercise every single day, start taking 1 complete rest day per week and notice how you feel. You'll likely discover that you have more energy and better performance on your exercise days when you're properly rested. Listen to your body. If you feel unusually tired, sore, or unmotivated to exercise, take an extra rest day regardless of your planned schedule. Overtraining is far more common in seniors than most people realize, and it's completely counterproductive to your health and fitness goals. Quality and consistency matter infinitely more than quantity when it comes to exercise at your age. Rest this week because your muscles grow stronger during recovery periods, not during the exercise itself. Don't wait until overtraining leads to injury or burnout that forces extended time away from exercise. These 4 habits, daily afternoon naps, full-fat dairy products, regular coffee consumption, and strategic rest days from exercise, were all called bad or dangerous at various points in recent medical history. But current scientific research from the world's most respected medical institutions shows they actually protect your heart, brain, metabolism, muscles, and overall longevity. Don't blindly follow outdated health advice when medical science has moved forward and proven those old recommendations were wrong. Trust the current research and your own experience rather than conventional wisdom that hasn't caught up with the facts. Tell me in the comments which of these 4 habits you already practice and which one surprises you most, or which one you're planning to adopt this week. Share this video immediately with another senior who's been avoiding these habits because of old, outdated advice that needs to be challenged. Subscribe right now for more evidence-based health information that questions conventional wisdom and gives you practical strategies that actually work to improve your health and extend your active, independent years.